Here's some business advice that's super obvious once you know it. The best type of offers are white room offers. Now, what the heck is a white room offer? I want you to imagine for a second that you are in a white room. There is nothing in this white room except you and a potential customer or a client. I want you to imagine that you've been teleported there through space and time. There are no doors. There are no windows. There's not even a table. There is just you standing there and a prospect standing there. This is the context. Now, without saying a word, what you do is you hand across a single piece of paper, maybe folded in half, and you pass that across to the other person in the room. They unfold that single piece of paper. They read it. They look up, they smile at you, and they nod. There is a white room offer. And the reason why I call it a white room offer is because we're in a room, not a word is spoken, yet either the deal is done or an agreement has been made to take the next step. Now, this is the opposite of most sales and marketing in the B2B space now, isn't it? Yeah, that is because we need to obviously book the meeting. We're not getting teleported into some strange white room. We need to get the prospect excited for the meeting. We'll use automation to book the meeting, to get them excited for the meeting. We might send some emails to educate them before the meeting. Then we're going to host the meeting. The meeting will typically run for about an hour. It'll be broken into 3 stages. There'll be a discovery stage, then there'll be a demonstration stage, and then there'll be an offer stage where you diagnose the problem and you make a recommendation. That's right, discover, demonstrate, deliver value, followed by a diagnosis. And then you get to the pointy end of the deal and you make the offer. Now imagine for a second that this could be all streamlined and drilled down into one simple moment. And that is because there is only one person that can close the deal. And that person is not you. The only person that can close the deal is the person that you're speaking with. Now, all those things that I talked about are fantastic. To structure your meeting in a way where people want to book a time with you because it sounds so desirable, getting people excited for the meeting, elevating anticipation for the meeting, educating the prospect before the meeting, super valuable. Structuring the meeting, following the format that I talked about with 3 parts, absolutely essential. Even introducing an offer where there are 3 segments to the offer. So it's not a yes-no dynamic, it's an either or maybe you can anchor price the offer. All these different things are super, super duper important, but still it all comes down to that moment. And the more concise we can be about our offer, the easier life will be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a white room offer into its most simple parts. And then I'm going to make I'm going to give you an invitation. And the invitation is for you to go away on social media or maybe in our school group and present your offer to strangers in the form of a hand raised post. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. What's a hand raised post? We'll get back to that in just a second. So on the screen right now, you can see a grid pattern. And if you've got a pen and paper, pull out your pen and paper now and you can write something down. If you're watching the recording of this and you want my notes on my worksheets, leave a comment or you'll find them linked below. All right, if it's a white room offer, and if I can bring this back to all the other things that we've been learning in recent weeks, one of the most important things that you can start with is, can anyone guess? A target audience. A very clear target audience. A target audience where they self-identify as that target audience. What we don't want to do is we don't want to say, hey, I'm looking for heart-centered, empathic, socially minded business leaders. Anyone else out there like that? Right? Some people might self-identify, others will not. The best type of experiment that you can run to get target audience clarity is something that we call the doctor on the plane test. And it goes like this. I say, is there a doctor on the plane? And all the doctors go, yeah. And if there's some guy or gal sleeping and the person next to them knows that they're a doctor, they give them a nudge and they go, they need you, right? That's called a referral. Most people don't have target audience clarity. They say their target audience are business owners or something like that, right? Or they say their target audience is in need. My target audience are business owners with long sales cycles. Or they come up with a mindset. My target audience are empathic business leaders who are socially mindedly conscious, right? Now, we want to say our target audience in a way where they can unambiguously self-identify as being a member of that target audience. And other people can also say, yeah, that person is that target audience. So it could be industry or profession. It could be a very specific outcome that they deliver. So maybe it's this. Are you a dentist? That there is an industry. Are you a dentist? That there is a profession. Do you whiten people's teeth? That there is something that a dentist does. So we just want to start off with the words with a target audience. Now, there are simple ways to flagging the target audience. The most simple and obvious is attention. Again, super powerful when it comes to marketing, because what we want to do is we want to deliver something called use case certainty. We want to grab someone's attention. If I call out your name, is your name Yvonne? Yvonne goes, yeah, that's me. Anyone that's not Yvonne looks away, right? We can use it to grab attention. But we also want to deliver use case certainty. Are you this audience? Yes, I am. That's the first piece of the puzzle. The second piece of the puzzle is we want to talk about outcomes. Now, the outcome you always must remember is the inverse of a headache. And there's different ways to tackle this. So one of the best pitching techniques that I've ever stumbled across is something called the Gaddy pitch. And it begins with the sentence, you know how target audience has problem? You know how dentists struggle to increase the average order of a client? No, that's not a good one. You know how dentists struggle with bad Google reviews? There we go. You know how target audience has problems. So always remember that the outcome is specific to the problem that you're solving. People will take action to solve a problem, whereas they don't necessarily take action to get an outcome. An example of that would be, in which situation would you run faster? Towards a cuddly bear or away from a starving grizzly bear? Having said that, I'm just going to throw down the words, what if? So attention, target audience. What if I could get you outcome? I love the word get. It's what everybody's thinking. What do I get? So if everyone's thinking, what do I get? You need to answer, here's what you get. Attention, target audience. What if, and that could be, I could get you from A to B. What if I could get you this specific outcome? What if I could help you solve this problem? What is the outcome that you're delivering? Now, if you're playing along, write things down on a piece of paper. Say something out loud. Use the chatty chat tool. So for example, if your target audience is not a dentist, if it's a chiropractor or an allied health professional or a marketing agency owner or a consultant or a web developer or any of those things, write down the target audience. Then what is one small outcome that you can deliver? Smaller promises get faster decisions. So that's what we want to do. Attention, target audience. What if I could get you outcome in time frame? Now, the best types of outcomes are measurable. And sometimes we're trying to describe our outcome in a way, but we can't do it in a way that's measurable. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we could say, hey, here's how to get 100 leads. Here's how to book 16 meetings. But if you want to make something more measurable, throw in a time frame. So what if we could get you outcome in 6 weeks? So an example of that would be, we have some training called 16 VIPs, how to get 16 meetings with very interested prospects in 6 weeks. Now, again, if you've been part of our world and you've been doing this and you've been working through it, you will know that this is key to something that we call the fuse method. At the top of the fuse method, we have the fist pumping moment. What do they get? We align that with use case certainty. Is this right for me? And then we start to talk about speed to outcome before introducing how they can do it with the least amount of effort. So attention target audience, what if I could get you outcome in time frame? Now this is where it gets really wild. There's the next bits of the secret sauce. This is the bits where most people don't do this bit. And I'm going to skip it. I'm going to come back to it. What if, hey, target audience, what if I could get you outcome in 6 weeks? And then we have the call to action. And the simple line I'm going to put here is, would you be interested in that? Would you be interested in that? So if I bring this back down to the concept of a white room offer, there are structures where we might like say, is this something that you would like to start on today? And we get the smile and the nod. That there's something else I'd like to start on today. The last line in your power offer could be, do you have your credit card handy? And the person smiles and they offer, you know, shall I send you a purchase order? There's the smile. We need to have a call to action at the end. And the person, the response that you want to see is that they smile and they offer, that they smile and they nod. And they say, I am ready. I am ready for the next step. Now, I introduced the idea a little bit earlier of a concept called a hand raise offer. A hand raise offer. I've seen people talk about this in different ways. I heard a good acronym the other day, SPEAR. Short, persuasive, earning a response. Yeah, I heard that acronym the other day, SPEAR. Short, persuasive, earning a response. A hand raise offer, if you've never seen one of these before, now you're going to see them everywhere. A hand raise offer is when you present something on social media. And on social media, you might say, hey, target audience, I'm thinking of preparing thing that delivers outcome in time frame. If I went and prepared that thing, would you be interested in that? I love the hand raise offer because the hand raise offer allows us to test concepts and test ideas without actually going out there and creating the thing that we need to create. All we're doing is we're seeking expressions of interest in an extremely low cost, easy way. And incidentally, this is your RFA challenge, ready, fire, aim. When we have challenges, we call them RFA challenges, not ready, aim, fire, because people get ready and then they aim and then they aim and they aim and they aim and they aim. No, we have ready, fire, aim challenges, RFA challenges, so that you get ready, you fire, and then you can aim later. And this is a perfect example of that, because what you will do is you will post your hand raise offer on social media, which will be an example of a white room offer. And all you need to do is tick the boxes that you see on the screen right now. And if you get a response to your hand raise offer, you know you're on the right track. If you get crickets or donuts, you know that it requires a little bit of work, or maybe you need to expand your reach on social media. And that's a strategy for another day. All right. Hey, attention target audience. What if I could get you outcome in time frame? Would you be interested in that? Now, I'm going to move this down one because I'm going to put this as the last line. Would you be interested in that? We've got some other elements before there. Now, one of the more obvious elements would be some sort of proof, which would be a testimonial or a case study, or just dot point examples. And this leads back up to use case certainty. People look at it and they go, oh yeah, that's going to work for me because they called me out as the target audience. And then they gave me an example or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or more of people that are in that particular situation. And they're exactly like me. So does anyone want to guess what these 2 final pieces are? And this is where we can elevate ourselves from someone that, I don't know, who's good at this stuff to someone who is exceptional at this stuff. Hey, attention, target audience. If I could get you outcome in a certain amount of time, and I'm looking for a word that begins with E or a word that begins with W. Does anyone want to have a guess? What if I could get you outcome even if? Now I've kind of done these things back to front here because I've put the words in the item area. Maybe I can move this around. Let's see if I can move that across. Yay, I did so. Even if. Almost. I lost the top of the E, but that's okay. Even if. Here's the thing. When you're doing any form of sales and marketing, it's your job to transform certainty in 3 layers. I said it a little bit earlier. The only person that can close the client is not you. It's the client, which means that you need to transfer your certainty onto the person that you're engaging with. And there are 3 layers of certainty. They need to have certainty in you. They need to be going, yep, this person or this company is the best fit for me. They need to have certainty in the process, which is why things like case studies are so helpful, because they can see that there's going to be a process. But the hardest thing to transfer certainty in is that they need to have certainty in themselves. People are very good at saying, this won't work for me because. So what we need to do is we need to identify all the different areas of perceived lack. So if they perceive that they've got some sort of deficit, we need to identify that particular deficit. And what we can then do is we say out loud, we speak out loud the little dramas that they're having in their own heads. So for example, hey, attention dentists, what if I could help you double your positive Google reviews, times 10 your positive Google reviews, and help you better manage negative Google reviews, maybe even make them go away in as little as 6 weeks, even if this internet stuff terrifies you. Even if this internet stuff terrifies you. So even if I have a perceived lack of skill, or it could be a resource. So I'm going to throw down the next line. Lack, and I'm going to throw this down again. Another lack, and I'm going to use the word without. The without also allows us to dovetail into process if we want to do that. Imagine if I could get you outcome in 6 weeks or less, even if you don't have this, without the need to sacrifice, without the need to invest, without the need to whatever it's going to be. And as I said before, this is the secret sauce. And ideally, I would have 3 of these. I would have 3 of those things that when someone looks at it and they go, oh, wow. Now, of the 3, one of those 3 can actually be a case study or an example. The best case studies or examples are the ones where the person who writes the testimonial voices the fear or uncertainty that other people have when it comes to making the decision. So when I seek a testimonial, I will often have questions that I ask. And one of the first questions is, what did you want? What did you want when you came into our world? What was the outcome that you were seeking? And they'll talk, or I'll say, what was not working in your world that you needed to fix? That's often the first question. And then they'll go, oh, this is a big problem, da, 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 da. And then I'll ask a question like, how did you think it was not going to work? Or what did you worry about? And they'll say, oh, I thought it was going to be this, but, and then they flip it and they change it. And that's the way it works. So here is your mission, should you choose to accept it. It's really, really simple. Create your own hand raise offer. What if, attention target audience, what if I could get you outcome in specific time frame, even if you don't have this thing, without the need for something else? Here's an example. Would you be interested in that? And all you need in response is someone to say, yeah. Leave a comment to let me know whether you're interested in that. Write the words interested, and I will get back to you. So here is my mission for you, should you choose to accept it. Head over to the school group where you will see an RFA challenge called White Room Offer. Would you be interested in that? All you need to do is type down what could indeed be your White Room offer, your hand raised post, and get the guidance and feedback from other people. But do not stop there, because the people in the group might not necessarily be your target audience. You'll get strategic feedback, but it won't be the most honest type of feedback of all. And that is the type of feedback when you post something on the interwebs, on social media, and real humans really well and truly engage with your brand. And that's when you know whether you are on the right track or not.